Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, reveal the books I bought this week, and, if I screw up, a blooper reel. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Now kick that logo! Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. Coming to you from Clint's Comics here in Monroe, Louisiana. And in the light of the bombings at Manchester Arena in Manchester, England, I made this British flag themed Comic Hero team. I did this because I'm with the people of Manchester, England, because it was an act of terror. I mean, we shouldn't have to live in terror, but unfortunately we do. And it is such a sad situation, when you go somewhere and you lose your life or you become critically injured only because of a selfless act of violence. And I stand with Manchester, whether you went to the concert, whether you're a family member of any of the people who lost their lives, or whether you just live there and were deeply affected by it. I stand with you. All right, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. All right, last week's episode, I asked, who is Nightcrawler's biological mother? Well, the correct answer is Mystique. Now, 2 people who answered correctly said, referred to her by her real name, Raven Darkholm. And 10 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their names have been entered in the drawing for a free tee, and that takes place right now. So, the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is April Hooks from Camden, Arkansas. So congratulations, April. You're winning some free Comic Hero tee. All right. Here's the question for next week's episode, and this one is very easy, and it's also a Wonder Woman question, since Wonder Woman's coming out in theaters on Friday. What is the name of the island where Wonder Woman grew up? Everyone who answers correctly will be in a drawing for a free tee in next week's episode of the show. Now, no one has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight this week. However, I have one of my own, and this one features 2 gingers who may not have powers, but if you fight with them, you'll lose. And not only will you lose, you'll get beaten up very badly. Representing DC, we have Batgirl, and representing Marvel, we have Black Widow. These 2 are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call
the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's Batgirl versus Black Widow. Batgirl possesses genius-level intellect, is skilled in computer science and hacking, is a skilled hand-to-hand combatant, and utilizes high-tech gadgets and equipment. The Black Widow is an expert tactician, martial artist, secret agent, expert marksman, and mastery of various other weapons via gauntlets, which include a grappling hook, knockout gas, a taser, explosives, tear gas pellets, and a radio transmitter. She possesses slowed aging and an enhanced immune system. Who would win? Black Widow would have this fight won, but it wouldn't come easy. Batgirl, being as tech savvy as she is, would do her homework on Black Widow. They will both resort to hand-to-hand combat. Batgirl will have the upper hand at first, until Black Widow resorts to martial arts. After delivering a roundhouse kick to Batgirl, Black Widow attempts to end the fight with her gauntlets. We all know that Batgirl trembles at the sight of a gun. After all, her spine was once shattered when the Joker shot her in the midsection a while back. Little does Black Widow know, Batgirl was playing possum. The latter disabled her gauntlets earlier in the fight via tech. Batgirl will then say, "You're not so tough without guns, you dirty Russian." Black Widow tries to punch Batgirl, but the latter rolls out of the way when Black Widow takes a swing at her. Batgirl then trips up Black Widow and starts beating her down. This proves to be her undoing when Black Widow pistol whips her with one of her gauntlets. Black Widow then walks away saying, "No, that's dirty." Black Widow wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that fight, and if you have a fight request for future episodes, contact info is down there. All right, then. Let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
All right, first up is the Mighty Captain Marvel #2. Now, this is an old issue. The only reason I'm buying this is because this is I want to get caught up with all the Marvel books that are tying into Secret Empire. I mean, I just got caught up with Captain America, Sam Wilson, and I just started reading Secret Empire, so yeah. But in this book, Captain Marvel is the leader of the Alpha Flight space station that's hovering right above Earth. And meanwhile, back on Earth, she is pretty much an uber hero to a lot of folks, especially those in New York. All right, next up is the Wonder Woman Annual #1. And this issue, it talks about Wonder Woman meeting Batman and Superman. Oh, the Trinity. And I'm not talking about that Trinity either. All right, next up, speaking of Captain America Sam Wilson, Captain America Sam Wilson #22. Now this book, I just got caught up with it, and let me tell you something. This book pretty much tackles with a lot of social issues that we deal today, but they do it with a Marvel twist. I mean, Nick Spencer has done such a great job with this book, as well as Captain America Steve Rogers, and he's also doing a tremendous job on Secret Empire. And in earlier issues, while trying to foil a robbery between Speed Demon and some other guy, Rage ends up being set up to be arrested by the AmeriCops. And he ends up, Sam tries to help him, tries to spring him out, he tries to get him bailed out or anything. He's saying, no, I don't want to be bailed out. I want everyone to see how broken the system is. Well, he ends up being found guilty for his crimes, despite the fact that Sam Wilson ended up showing footage of what really happened to the entire world. And he ends up getting transferred to Block Z, which is like the cell block where all the very strong and dangerous superpower guys are. And he gets beaten to a coma. And then at the very end, Sam Wilson gives up being Captain America. Next up is Deadpool #31. Now, in Secret Empire, Deadpool is a member of the brainwashed Captain America Steve Rogers Avengers, which also consists of Odin's Son and the Scarlet Witch. Oh, and the Vision. And in this book, we find out exactly how that all went down. And then finally, The Flash #23. Now, I just got finished reading the crossover with Batman called The Button. And it has to do with with some pre-Flashpoint characters. They end up going to Dr. Thomas Wayne's version of the Batcave. But then they're trying to get but he's trying to get Batman and the Flash back to the New 52 universe right before characters like Aquaman and Wonder Woman come to blow up the Batcave. They get them back, but then we find out more, and it all sets up a new series a new event that comes out for DC later on this year called The Doomsday Clock. All right, that's 5 I bought, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 7,977. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. What is the name of the island where Wonder Woman grew up? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tea in next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to April Hooks from Camden, Arkansas, who won a free tea in this week's episode. All right, it's birthday time here on the Comic Hero Show, and a happy birthday this past Sunday to one of my friends that I went to school with at Louisiana Tech many years ago, Alicia White. And also a happy birthday to her, happy first birthday to her son, Leon. And happy birthday this past Sunday to one of my friends that I was in band with at ULM, Faith Adcock. Happy birthday this past Monday to one of my friends who I was privileged with to be in the class of 2000 at Homer High School, Trez Williams. And happy birthday yesterday to one of my friends who I was also in, who's also one of my classmates in the class of 2000 at Homer High School, Robin Johnson. Happy birthday on Tuesday to one of my friends that I went to junior high and high school with at Homer High School, Jennifer Lane. Happy birthday to my old section leader back when I was in the Sound Today at ULM, Nathan Powell. Happy birthday to one of the greatest lawyers I know. I mean, if you're in the Minden area or anyone or anywhere nearby, look him up if you have any legal problems. Marcus Patillo. Happy birthday today to one of my good friends in the sports director at ESPN 97.7 and the host of the sports company, Sean Fox. Happy birthday today to my good friend that I was in band with at ULM, Jairus Brown. Happy birthday tomorrow to one of my friends that I went to school with at Bossier Parish Community College, Eric Evans. Happy birthday on Friday to one of my good friends from high school, Walt Stevens. Happy birthday on Saturday to one of my fellow members of Boy Scout Troop 193 when I was growing up, and also I was in band with at Homer High School, Cleon Warren Jr. And happy birthday this Saturday to the co-owner of Crafts Galore, the Rebel Store, Melinda Bird. And happy birthday on Sunday to one of my friends that I went to junior high and high school with at Homer, Amy Hall. Happy birthday to Lisa Carpenter. And then happy birthday to a kid that used to live right up the road from me that we practically grew up with, Greg Nelson. All right, 23 away from 8,000. It's coming. I can't guarantee that I'll get to 8,000 next week. I'm probably not. But you best believe that I'm going to get to it sooner or later. All right, I'm Victor. Oh, and also, I also want to say again to all the people in Manchester, England, I stand with you, and it may seem like a long time, but things will get better. All right, I'm Victor Nolly. I'm the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 168 right back here at Clint's Comics. So till then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero. All right, last week's episode. One. All right, first up is the Mighty Captain Marvel #2. Now, this is kind of an old issue. This came out a few months ago. I'm trying to get back into reading all the Marvel books that are tie-ins with Secret Empire. Captain Marvel is now the leader of the all-new Alpha Flight space station up in Earth. And also, meanwhile, All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And here's a free question for next week. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And here's a question again for a free tea for next week's episode of the show. Where? 4.